When the Supreme Court has gone into this problem in detail and has come to the conclusion that this should not be done and whole section and provisions have been set aside, what is there to compel the government to come forward again with an amendment bill, particularly when it transgresses the fundamental rights of the working people? Sign of interrogation. I would therefore request the government to go into this problem carefully and not just to play with the fundamental policy which is sought to be pursued by the government. Stop in every sphere, in every activity. These workers are entitled to put forward their case and bargain. Stop para. Madam, it is a matter of shame that the government did not ask their management to come and appear before the Chief Labor Commissioner. Stop. Here is a machinery, a conciliation machinery created by the government, being presided over by a colleague of yours in the cabinet, and your department had decided not to appear before the Chief Labor Commissioner. Stop era. I would therefore plead with the Prime Minister, please do not bring such legislation which destroys the basic principles which have been in existence. Stop. Here is a law, TD Act, which was brought by the British, which in my opinion is still not up to the standard. Stop. But it is a matter of shame that even what the British granted to the employees in those days, the present government wants to take away. Stop. This should have been preserved, developed, and made to flourish so that the workers can say, particularly in nationalized undertakings, now we have a right to negotiate and settle. Stop. The government is expected to follow an ideal employer's policy. Stop. Is this the policy of an ideal employer, where they can dictate the terms of service to the workers? Sign of interrogation. Is this the policy they are placing before the private sector? Sign of interrogation. This is how they should treat their workers. They should control them. Sign of interrogation. There is no reason whatsoever which can justify this. Stop. The minister said, is there are some differences between the superintendent's emoluments and those of the officers, etc. As I said, this is no argument. Stop. This cannot be the reason, as pointed out by the earlier speaker. There are practices and perquisites. Stop. Will he place before the House the facts as to what is the difference if all practices and perquisites of officers are taken into account? Sign of interrogation. As I submitted, it is not something which the government should arbitrate. Stop. It is something which should be placed before an independent authority like an industrial court, where you go and say all these things, whatever you have to say. Stop.